Welcome to Moving for Life, the podcast where health meets everyday living. Today's topic is one that affects everybody. It's about physical activity and exercise, and what's the difference between the two, but why are both so important? Today I've got Ben with me as usual. Hi Ben.
Hello, how are we doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, welcome along. So as I say, we're talking about physical activity and exercise.
Yeah, so like Dave said, the two terms are kind of used interchangeably, but they are slightly different from one another. So physical activity is any kind of bodily movement, so it might be anything from carrying in the shopping or walking up the stairs, whereas exercise is something a little bit more structured, where we're starting to kind of stress our muscles a little bit more and increase our breathing.
So I guess from what you're saying there is you could look at physical activity as things like daily chores, stuff that we do, get up and down, putting stuff away in cupboards, all that sort of stuff, whereas exercise has got a specific structure to it. It's about actually building strength, building resistance, building endurance. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And normally tends to be for longer periods of time as well with exercise, so it's a little bit more continuous, where we're starting to put a little bit more emphasis on using the muscles and feeling the muscles working, as well as increasing your breathing rate and your heart rate and things like that. So, like you say, physical activity is anything you do during the day, and exercise is something more along the lines of going out specifically to do something like a brisk walk, swimming, cycling, or maybe lifting weights as well.
And I think physical activity is something that we just do all the time, isn't it? But exercise is goal orientated. It's got a specific structure to it, and it's something that we look to go and actually do rather than just being part of our everyday life. So I guess as you said there, some examples could be doing stuff around the house, shopping, vacuuming, making the beds, getting up in the morning, even that sort of stuff is your physical activity. But your exercise, it could be things like yoga, going for a swim, having a brisk walk. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I guess why are both important then?
So they are both important for kind of similar reasons, but with exercise it kind of takes it on a step further. So physical activity can help keep the body moving and prevent stiffness in the muscles and the joints. It also supports heart health, can improve your mood, and also boost energy levels. Whereas exercise takes it that one step further, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I think it's really important to focus on something you said there as well, Ben, about it's not necessarily just about the physical side of it, it's about the emotional and the mental side of it as well. It does help as far as mood is concerned, and anxiety, depression, all those sorts of things, doesn't it?
Yeah. So when we exercise, we release these endorphins in the brain, which are these feel-good hormones, which, like Dave said, it can help with reducing stress, reducing anxiety, and making you feel good about yourself as well when you do exercise.
And I think this strengthening muscles, increasing flexibility, and all those things that are part of exercise, it's a good thing to do from day one, but to keep it going as well, to make sure that we're continually doing it, so that we're protecting ourselves in the future, aren't it? Because things start to naturally happen after a certain age. I know we start to see some decrease in muscle mass, for instance, after the age of about 30. And likewise with bone health, that starts to decrease, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So if we can start to look at keeping active and doing physical activity every day, and then some exercise in there as well with a bit more structure, then we can kind of keep on top of our muscles, kind of maintain the strength of the muscles, maintain the strength of the bones as well.
Now, I know the World Health Organization, and nationally we've got guidelines in the UK which come from medical officers that talk about 150 minutes of moderate physical activity in a week. That can be broken down into like 30 minutes, which if you think of it is 5 weeks worth of, or 5 days, of 30 minutes of activity. It can be broken down a little bit more to that, in that 30 minutes could be broken down into 10 minutes, but no less than that, because it then becomes ineffective. But what exactly is moderate activity?
So it's kind of listening to your body really with this. So everybody's moderate physical activity would probably be slightly different, but it's thinking of how your muscles are feeling. So you're feeling them stress a little bit when you do the exercise. Is your breathing rate increasing with the activity that you're doing? If they are, and you're able to hold a conversation, then that is probably classed as moderate physical activity. if you're having to, if you're gasping for air as you're doing an activity, then you're probably doing a little bit too much. And if it just literally feels like a walk in the park, then you probably need to do a little bit more. So you are trying to test yourself a little bit by increasing your heart rate, working your muscles, and feeling that stress on the muscles.
So I guess if I'm holding a conversation with you like I am now,
Yeah.
that's going to be a sort of indication towards moderate intensity. I mean, obviously it's not for us now because we just sat here, but you know, if I was able to hold this conversation and take in the occasional breath,
Yeah.
but if I'm going, Ben, I need to slow down a little, that's going to be working too hard. Yeah,
that's when you take it
Okay.
that step further into high intensity, which we don't necessarily need to do for the benefits.
Okay, yeah, I mean, but it's people can work at a more intense rate, can't they? But it's not. The recommendation is the 150 of moderate, and I think if we talk about vigorous activity, which then is the like playing squash, jogging, all those sorts of things, it recommends sort of 75 minutes. But for yourselves who are listening to this, then obviously we're looking at the moderate activity level as the key.
Yeah, most of the time. There will be the odd occasion where someone's goals are slightly higher, so it might be returning to running, it might be returning to squash, where they'll have to kind of adapt the guidance a little bit with that and do a little bit more high intensity. But yeah, we're kind of we're striving for that kind of moderate physical activity over 150 minutes over the week, and that is, like we say, that is the minimum. So if we can manage that and do a little bit more, that's obviously even better.
Now I think those guidelines also go on to say things about balance and strength work, don't they?
Yeah.
So I think it's 2 days worth of strength work or resistance work and 2 days of balance and coordination work as well, and that's to make sure that we ensure we stay mobile, we stay steady. So hopefully, as we move through life, we're not looking at feeling unsteady, unstable, and we're looking at maintaining sort of good muscular health as well. I guess the key, I think, would say is that the thing is to start small and build on it. So I know that when you come in and you exercise with us in the gym initially, then what we're doing is we'll start your program off really small. So it might only be like a 15-minute program or a 20-minute program to start off with after you've done your warm up. But then over time we're increasing that and we're making it longer, and the same is key for as you go forward, isn't it? I think the Couch to 5K is a prime example of that. If you look at that program, initially you might think, what the heck am I doing this? Because it talks about a really small amount of running, doesn't it? It's a matter of minutes. But the whole idea is the fact that you start small, you add bit by bit, and you build on it. And the same is a rule to follow, really, as far as any type of exercise, isn't it? You're not going to go hell for leather start off.
No, because you're not going to get any benefit from doing that. Starting off small and progressing is definitely the key to this, but also being consistent with it as well. So it's finding time in your week to do these activities that are beneficial for you. There's no point doing a couple of sessions here, have a week off, and then do a session there. It's about getting it into your weekly routine and getting it in the diary and doing it on a consistent basis.
And I guess one of the things there is the fact that if you can find something that you really enjoy doing as well, it's going to be far easier, isn't it, to make it happen. Okay, so thank you very much. Hopefully you found that useful. I think just to sum up, we should look at the fact that physical activity keeps the body moving throughout the day, but exercise is structured, it's built around strength, it's talking about building strength, endurance and fitness. Both are essential for a healthy, balanced life. And whether it's walking the dog or hitting the gym, every bit of movement counts is the key thing to remember. And it's not the goal isn't for perfection; it's for progress. Yeah,
absolutely. So thank you for tuning in to Moving for Life. Remember to stay active, stay healthy, and keep moving forward.
And we'll see you again real soon.
Take care.
Bye.